we'll be cooking, well, one of my favorites, pork tenderloin, roasted apples, and onions. Now this dish is traditionally made with a white wine, but for the purposes of this video, we will not because of 4-H regulations. So I will be mixing my own. For this recipe, we're going to need pork loin, of course. We're going to need some onions, 2 apples. Try to have them not too bitterly sweet, maybe a little bit sour. Red apples work the best. And we're also going to need lemon juice, Dijon mustard with white wine infused in it, fennel seed, butter, salt and pepper to taste, and, because of this, cranberry juice, and white grape juice, and bacon. Okay, we're going to preheat our oven, which has already been done, because after we sear the meat in the pan that is right behind me, it's going to get a little bit too hot to handle. So, that's why we're not going to touch it for a little while and put it in the oven to cook. So, also, when we pull it out, it's going to be pretty hot, so we're going to need a few pot holders / napkins or so. So, now time to chop my apples. Okay. I'm going to chop this in super speed into equal pieces. Now we're going to cut the onion into equal pieces again. See my previous video for further instructions. Now, with all cooking, or with most cooking, there's going to be some butchering. So, first thing you gotta do, of course, have a sharp knife, and then you have to open the packet, which is very easy to do if you have a sharp knife, of course, or scissors, because anything that is sharp works very well. And as you can see there, you got some nice pieces already cut. Ah, look at that. That's nice. We got some slices right here, which are pretty well trimmed, so don't have a lot of fat on them, but pure fat doesn't add any flavor. Fat juices do. So there really is no point of keeping this fat right here, because it's useless. It's going to just make almost like a gristle when you eat it, and it's going to be very slimy, so we're just going to get rid of all that. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue butchering this pork, and I will see you a bit later. Okay, well, I'm done butchering the meat, as you can see. Looks a little bit better. And now I put this nice skillet pan on here, on high. So, once this heats up, we can start cooking. Usually I would use a white wine, maybe a little bit of a bitter wine, because sweet wines add a flavor that usually isn't very compatible. So, I'm going to add a little bit of white grape juice to it, because it's wine, or should be wine. Okay. Gotta add some lemon juice to it, because lemon juice adds acidity. And also it adds lemon taste, which you can get in some wine. And we got white cranberry juice just to add almost like a cocktail. So let's try it now, see how it turns out. Well, we're going to need a little bit more lemon juice because the grape juice is a little bit overpowering and it doesn't have acidity that a wine would have. There we go. Mix it up a little bit. Still needs a little bit more lemon juice. Because remember, this should not be very sweet. Running out of spoons, but that would work nicely. Okay, so all I used was white grape juice, white cranberry juice, and maybe about 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So, it did turn out pretty good. Well, I'll see you a bit later. Okay, now I will make a sauce. Now, when I said sauce, you might be thinking maybe a pan sauce, but really, I'm just going to be braising it in this sauce. So, you add some Dijon mustard, it can be any kind you like. I personally like the one with a little bit of white wine infused with it, because it adds a nice, unique taste to it. And a little bit in there, maybe 3 tablespoons or so. Because this is going to be spread kind of thin, so it should not be overwhelming it by any means. Next, we add a little bit of fennel, because fennel is very overpowering if used too much, so that's why we're only going to add maybe 2 sprinkles of it. And now, we're going to mix it. Maybe add a little bit more fennel. Ah, smelling great. I remember first time I made it, it smelled exactly like this. Let's see. Add some pepper, just to add a little bit of a smoky taste to it. It adds a very good taste. A little bit of fennel. Okay. Well, that's basically what you would use. Now let me see how this tastes. Pretty solid. Paintbrush painted on this meat. Because I'm going to braise these a little bit later, but now, because you don't want to burn it, but you still want to do this, cut some butter up. I'd say maybe half a tablespoon. Not a lot of butter, just want to coat the pan. Put it in there. Oh yeah, another thing to be wary of. Butter can burn. Will it? Yes. It smells good though. This is a very seasoned pan. Very seasoned pan. Meaning, you have seasonings from previous cooking adventures still wrapped inside this. Okay, so now we're gonna add the pork. I washed my hands before doing this, so it's okay. Add this. I'm gonna braise it in the pan. Ah, listen to that. It looks like we can fit 2. Ain't that a nice sound? There we go. Now that we got that all arranged, we can move around a little bit if we wish. Because we don't want any raw parts of the meat, even though it will be put in the oven afterwards. There we go. Now, we gotta turn it down a little bit. Yeah, I believe it is on. Yeah. Looks like it's cooking a little bit fast, but that's okay. Just means we get to eat a little bit quick. Now, we take our paintbrush or baster, whatever you're using. We'll paint the meat. As if you're painting, well, an easel or anything. A little bit, brush it on. Brush the sides and the top. You don't want to, this is going to be seared on both sides, but the reason of why we are basting these sides and everything, because the flavor can get locked into the pan and the meat. So even if this burns the bottom of the pan, when we clean it, some of it will still be there for the next time, adding a new flavor. Yep, just want to keep cooking like this. As you can see, it's turning very nicely. And we might even have some sauce left. Maybe that most of it. Maybe add a little bit of it. Well, while you were gone, I flipped this over and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I would eat it right now if I wouldn't die from the bacteria. I mean, that, look at that. Look at it. Look at it, cameraman. Look at it. Look at the amazingness. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's actually kind of making me cry a little. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's just beautiful. And even, actually, I could use the sauce again for the seared part because it is going to go in the oven and all the bacteria is going to be killed. So, I should very gently braise this side. Ah, look at that. It's a thing of beauty. Thank you. Ah. Who says restaurant quality meals have to be only prepared in a restaurant? I mean, I cook like this all the time. Okay, let's see what this looks like. I'd say it's about ready to be put onto the plate. Gonna get ready to commence part 2. Thank you. Okay, we take these right out of the pan, and we're gonna add a little bit more butter to this pan. Because butter, you gotta love it.
Oh.
Isn't that right?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, cameraman. Yes. Okay, gotta add a little bit of butter to it. Make it nice and tasty. As you can see, it's kind of smoking a little bit, but that's okay. Butter smokes. Figuratively, of course, not literally. Yeah, well, actually, literally. Anyway. Yeah. Now, to be honest, I'm actually surprised I'm not burning my hand right now. This towel is very, very heat absorbent, so I'm glad. This video would be much more entertaining if I did burn my hand. That's okay. Okay, time to add the bacon. Well, this nice piece of bacon. You got each piece of bacon here is very, very thick. It's almost like a half centimeter, maybe centimeter thick. And all this fat right here is called, all this fat here is the good part, but this is called the flavor line, the only actual part of the meat. The flavor line. Ah, you can smell. I wish you at home could smell this because it's amazing. There's certain things in life that are amazing, and I think I fell in love with them. Right here. Ah, listen to that sizzle. Oh yeah, sometimes it pops, and it hurts a little bit. Take experience notes, kids. Never sizzle bacon. Hurts a wee bit.
Hope I get you in sometime work.
Now, cooking actually kind of gets you used to burning yourself, so you tend not to notice it. Okay, now this bacon actually serves no purpose except for its juices, meaning the crew and I get to have a little bit of a treat. Put some bacon strips, let them, oh yeah, don't touch them right now, it'll burn you. Tremendously. I speak from experience, it hurts. Okay, now we're going to add some of the vegetables. We're going to add the onions and apples. So, I will do so. Thank you. Gotta be very careful when doing this. Don't want anything to spill. Except where it's supposed to. Gotta do this very carefully. Okay. Well, as you can see, this is all cooked down a little bit. Now it's nice and caramelized. I'm gonna continue caramelizing this down a little bit. Just to make sure everything's nice, a nice golden brown texture. Just because of the Maillard reaction, it turns different proteins into sugars. So as we're cooking this down and it's turning golden, all the sugars in this are actually turning, or all the proteins in this are turning to sugar. Thus, making insta-candy. Or at least I call it insta-candy. I mean, nothing better than eating a caramelized onion or apple. Look at this. Bacon and caramelized apples. I can't believe it. I'm glad I didn't waste my life. All 12 years, 9 months of it. Searching through life looking for something that you will never find is a common goal that all people must go through. Luckily mine ended. So I'm good for the rest of the years. So all you guys that haven't figured that out yet, sorry. Try to find something you like to do. Hey, cooking. I'm lucky. I already finished mine. Okay. These have been Life Words by... I'm gonna check the temperature because might be done. And this is gonna carry over cook a little. Well, it's done. Okay, so
what temperature is it?
It's at 140 and it's gonna carry over cook maybe 10 degrees. So 150 is what you want it at. So I'll bring it out and let's clear it.
Oh, Justice, this is amazing.
This is such amazing.
You're welcome
Great
to
job.
cook for me anytime.
Great job. Awesome job.
That sounds like you're reading it.
Say, and that's the conclusion.
And that is the conclusion of me teaching you how to cook. And this is the conclusion of me teaching you how to cook. Stay hungry. With a side dish of asparagus.
And look, the Rugrats are starving.
Oh, my stomach hurts so much. I'm gonna die from starvation.
I'm sorry, you're just gonna smell this. You're gonna have to enjoy the smell.
Did you mention bacon?
And bacon. Yay.
Wait.
It's a pretty simple process, of course.
And at this point, you could say, I'm going to continue trimming this meat and butchering it to prepare it, and I'll be right back.
But don't try to rip it by hand. You'll hurt yourself. Bad.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Button again. And we'll tighten it up a little bit so we get your head in too.
Okay. As we're cutting these, you want to make sure you have everything. Because sometimes you can be cooking right along and realize you forgot your main ingredient. Has it happened to me? Yes. Have I been angry? Yes. Have I ran to the store? No, because I was too lazy to do so. But even so, if you cut these and you realize you have everything, you're gonna be all set. Also, you gotta taste everything you make, so.
I'm going to keep cutting up these apples, and I'll be back in a minute. Once you're done chewing and swallowing.
It's good apple.
And some for the dog too.
I'm gonna continue cutting these apples and I'll see you a bit later.